What's going on, y'all? Oh, damn, my bad. Hold up. All right, man. We up in here, man. Damn. You get ready to talk about these Texans? My apologies, man. We had to turn that light on. I'll be forgetting, man. But so I watched the Houston versus they just played, man. The Browns. That game was kind of a little washed, but it kind of gave me like more the identity of the team. And I watched Houston versus the Redskins. Or the Commanders. The reason why I watched both is because, different situations, the way that the Commanders, attacked them will kind of be similar to the way we would most likely attack them. And then I had the Philly game in mind on how they attacked Philly because they ran the ball on Philly. I remember that game. And, with the Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Browns pretty much won that off of special teams and defense, but, that game was kind of a wash. Like, I'm going to be honest with y'all, right? Looking at the film, it ain't the most exciting film. I'm going to be honest with you. I can do a film session, of course, though, but that's probably going to be the reason why I didn't go ahead and do that Vikings film session. Because look, the Vikings got a good record, but it's just the way that they run things. It just be, the same thing with the Texans. Their offense is very dull. Their offense is trash. We just got to be real. We just got to be real off the rip. Their defense is trash. We got to also be real. And so, with that being the case, man, we're going to get straight into this thing, man. We're going to get straight into the nitty-gritty, man. So, before I started getting into the offense, I wanted to make this be known. I looked at their kick returner, and the kick returner is kind of shifty. He kind of shifty, so that had to be something that you'll have to, be disciplined in covering them kicks with that kick returner because he was pretty shifty. I seen a little kick return. I'm like, hold up, I had to, because usually I go through them, man. If I'm going through the film, I'll click through the special teams, but, sometimes I watch it to see what kind of, but most of the time I'm clicking through so I can watch offensive defense. Man, I had to go ahead and keep watching dude kind of shifty a little bit. That's something to keep your eye out on. And especially since you got to go ahead and mix things around because now Kelvin Joseph is going to be more playing a part at corner, something that you got to keep an eye on, right? So, yeah. And also, even though their kick returner is shifty, they gave up a punt return to Donovan Peoples-Jones. So, everything that we've been waiting on with the Turpin thing, this might be the week. This might be. Now, it should have been the weeks or other weeks, though, but they scared of Turpin. One thing for sure, it wasn't good that we showed our hand when Turpin was taking that punt and that kick return to the crib. It wasn't. So, that put the fear in people's heart. And you can tell that people are fearing, Turpin. So maybe this might be the week where we take it to the crib. I'm like, if Donovan Peoples-Jones can take it to the crib, why can't us, right? So let's get into the offense. Well, if you're not familiar with them, their only really piece of offense is Pierce, Dameon Pierce. He's their best offensive weapon. And quite frankly, the way that Brandon Cooks keep coming in and out of their lineup, he's their only weapon, right? Now, look, Dameon Pierce is a little bit different, right? He's a good running back. Everything needs to go through Pierce, right? Like Pierce, like his yards after contact is crazy. Like the man, like, hey, Your linebackers is going to have to bring it this week, when it come down to Pierce. Because one thing's for sure, regardless of how good the defensive front is, they're going to continue to run the ball inside with Pierce. So they're just going to keep nagging it. Yeah, they're going to run outside. And one thing that I would expect from this Houston Texans offense is to run at Dorrance Armstrong. Because I'm going to tell you why. But first, before I tell you why, let's finish Pierce, though. He can catch out the backfield. They will be running a lot of running back screens to him, right? They because they want to get the ball in his hand and let him do what it do. Because one thing's for sure, Pierce has to do a whole lot of creating with his offense, right? Because one thing everybody knows, we stop Pierce, they ain't got nobody else, right? So with that being the case, right, let's get to their offensive line. Their best side of the offensive line is the left side. Laramie Tunsil, he's a pretty good left tackle, right? And then they got the boy that everybody, or not everybody, well, some wanted, which was Kenyon Green, right? That's their best side when it comes down to just offensive, their offensive line. And Questenberry, I'm not saying if I'm saying this right? So that left side, that's their best side, right? Their advantages will come on the right side, right? That right guard, especially looking at that right guard against Washington, one thing that I noticed with him is he catches blocks. He stops his feet a lot, right? So therefore, I'm looking at, and I also seen that he was susceptible to the bull rush, right? But one thing that I see a big future in is DeMarcus Lawrence or whoever lines up on him hitting that swim move and doing it successfully, especially the way that, he doesn't move his feet, right? It's just like as soon as he catches his feet, he stops his feet. And one thing we know as an offensive lineman, you do not want to stop your feet, because when you stop your feet, that's how you get beat. There's sometimes I wonder why he don't get beat quite often a little bit more. But hey, the games that I've seen him, I seen some things, right? Let's say, for instance, if he was a Pro Bowl lineman, well, he didn't look like a Pro Bowl lineman in the games that I've seen him. But we know he's not a Pro Bowl lineman, right? But their best lineman is Laramie Tunsil, not even close. And their second best lineman is Green, and then the center, right? And their right side is barbecue chicken. Their right side is barbecue chicken. So, of course, like I said, they want to establish Pierce, right? So, one thing that I seen was that they struggled passing off stunts. They especially early in that game against the Browns, they struggled passing off stunts. You're gonna be able to run some games against them and actually get home, right? I seen Montez Sweat. No, is it Montez or whichever Sweat for the Commanders, right? I don't know which one. It could be Montez is the Eagle. It's the other one. But anywho, the Sweat. I seen Sweat. So one time, so pretty much what it was the D. So they ran. What was it? I think it was an ET. No, it was a TE stunt. So he came, boom, and he came across, right? But then soon as he seen that he couldn't really get home on Kenyon Green, he bounced back out and got a sack. And one thing I seen on the other side was when they run their stunts, right there between that center and guard, they giving up a lot right there. They'll give up some right there. So you can whoop on that guard when it comes down to stunt, because he struggles some too picking up them stunts. So that's going to be an area of taking advantage of, right? So, yeah. So, but one thing it is, their passing game is little to none, right? They want to establish play action, right? And the cool thing about it is they have so little weapons. I see a lot of play action going to the tight ends, right? a lot of it went to the tight ends, right? But they want to run that. They want to run PA, right? And if they run PA, they'll be able to get some things downfield. All right. So we got Cooks. So let's look at their wide receivers, right? Cooks. We know Cooks is a good wide receiver, but we know Cooks is not checked in mentally, right? So, but we know Cooks can be a handful when he's on his game, right? He got that speed and he's still, throw him a crossing route or whatever the case may be, throw him a little in or whatever. He liable to take a 5-yard catch into a 25, 40-yard game, right? So, if Cooks plays, which I'm not too sure if he will, because he's been so wishy-washy, and sometimes, it'll take toward the end. If Cooks play, then, that'll be something that you got to keep your eye out on. And if not, the next best wide receiver is Chris Moore. And one thing that I seen a couple times with Chris Moore was they threw him some wide receiver screens, and he finished with some physicality, right? So that'll probably be their next best. And I believe the other one is named Nico. I think it's Nico Collins. But to be honest with you, they're bums. If it ain't Cooks, you shouldn't be worried about it, right? There's going to be some good work for Kelvin Joseph and Nashawn Wright and Bland. And if your corners, if them 3 corners that I named is getting taxed, is they out there getting whooped on by these wide receivers, then Dallas Cowboy fans, you must have raise your eyebrows up like you the Rock and trying to figure out what's going on with these corners, because there's no way that they should be getting routed for 100 yards with these bum corners. No way. No way. So recently, I looked because I was trying to figure out why Kyle Allen started, and I thought it was because maybe Mills was hurt. No, what I read was Davis Mills got benched the last 2 games, right? So he will be starting this week, right? But say for instance, if you see Kyle Allen had a lot of ball security issues. So we would love to see Kyle Allen, but you know how bad that you have to be playing to go ahead and get benched, to go ahead and put Kyle Allen in this situation of starting for 2 games. You have to be playing horrible, right? And to be honest with you, it's not all their fault because they have no outside weapons. All they have is Pierce, right? And some mediocre tight ends that they kind of stressing to, to either be a decoy or to be able to get some catches, right? And that's not good, right? So one thing for sure, what we can do and what we should do is stack that box, right? Stack that box, stop Pierce, and let everything flow. If they beat us passing for some awful reason, and I mean awful reason, if they beat us passing, then so be it. But they better not. This team is only won 1 game. This team should not be banging with us. Now, I'm not saying it may be a close blowout, right? Because one thing's for sure, what we know, everybody gets up to come play the Dallas Cowboys. So I wouldn't be that. They got up to play the Philadelphia Eagles, and I wouldn't be surprised if they got up to play the Dallas Cowboys. However, this will be the most disappointing loss if you was to lose to a scrub like the Houston Texans. It'll be a disappointing loss, right? And as stated before, they're gonna run some running back screens, right? I counted, a few of them things, Robert, and they don't pass much, because one thing they want to do is run the ball as often as they can, and if they do, they want to go ahead and run play action off of that, right? Because one thing I seen was the quarterbacks holding the ball too long. Part of that because the wide receivers can't get no separation. And another part of it is just that's on your quarterback for holding the ball too long. Learn to get out the pocket, learn to throw the ball away. Yeah, he struggled doing that a little bit, especially I've seen that in the Commanders game, right? But since Davis Mills starting, Davis Mills will run for a 3rd and 5. It ain't like he Daniel Jones, right? It ain't like he who else we seen? It ain't like he Jalen Hurts, right? It ain't like some of these mobile quarterbacks that we have seen, right? But it ain't like he can't get out and wiggle with it a little bit and go run for the first down, because he definitely can do that, right? So, but yeah, that's pretty much, man. To be honest with y'all, that's pretty much what their offense is. They're gonna want to establish Pierce, and they're gonna really try to establish Pierce just because of our history stopping the run. They're gonna want to establish Pierce, right? And if they can't establish Pierce, it's gonna be a long game for them, right? You know, it's gonna be a long game, right? And and one thing that I seen, right? I seen the Commanders cornerback take a gamble, got it, and took it to the crib. One thing that I seen that we can do with this team is take gambles. So Bland and Diggs, I'm okay with you taking some gambles this game. If you get beat, then you just come with it though. But I'm pretty sure if they go ahead and time their gambles up in the correct way, we should be having some big plays on the defensive end when it comes down to taking away the ball. So that's one thing that I did see when it came down to, the gambling aspect of the cornerback play, right? But yeah, man, that's just pretty much, y'all, the rundown of their offense. It ain't nothing too spectacular. It ain't nothing that they really can do because that offense doesn't have any talent, right? Anything else other than establishing the run, it just wasn't work. They'll be crazy to pass 40 times against this defense, right? It'll be crazy. Even if you're down 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, you still need to run the ball because that's how bad that their passing attack is, right? They have no passing attack whatsoever. They may get lucky here and there with a couple sideline passes to Chris Moore, but other than that, it's just not the business, right? So let's go ahead and get to the Texans defense. One player that you got to keep your eye out on is Jerry Hughes, right? One thing that he was doing against Jerry Hughes gonna get out that ball. Jerry Hughes, yeah, that's their best pass rusher. That's their best D lineman right there. Is Jerry Hughes. So we got to keep an eye on that. We got, I'm not too worried about Malik Collins, but Malik Collins is gonna mess around and probably try to have a game of his life. And one thing that I've seen a couple times, it's kind of like the Neville Gallimore situation, right? He's hot and when he's cold, right? I seen him picking and choosing. I don't know if it was pick and choosing though, but there should have been a lot more opportunities for the way that he was getting upfield, because when he chose to get off the ball and get in there and get that penetration, that's exactly what he did, right? But it wasn't often though, but that's what it was. The best position group for the Texans is the cornerback position, and that's Stingley from LSU and Nelson, I believe, from Oregon State. So that's their best thing that they got going on. And quite frankly, their secondary don't make plays. I even seen against the Commanders game, they dropped a pick. Did they drop a pick against the Browns? They might. I think they might have messed around and missed a couple opportunities downfield, right? So they're not gonna really take advantage of too many opportunities, right? And it ain't like if they get the opportunity to turn the ball over, it ain't like they're gonna be able to convert at a high clip just because of that weak offense, right? So one thing that I seen that the Browns did often was they used their momentum against them, right? So when they stun it, they will use their momentum of them slanting, of them running it, of them slam toward, and they'll use their momentum and bounce it back and get some nice chunks. I believe I've seen that with Kareem Hunt a few times, right? So you be able to use some of their momentum, because one thing, they're gonna have to do all kind of games against you. They're gonna have to do all kind of twist and stunt, is because they don't get no pressure with just all four. So they're gonna have to bring the heat. They're gonna have to do a whole bunch of stunts and just hope for the best. But one thing the Dallas Cowboys have been excelling at is them picking up these stunts, right? Just like, what was it? I seen it some last game, and I believe I believe it was the Giants game, right? They did an excellent job picking up stunts, right? So also, you can have misdirection success in the run game against them. Of course, we can get movement on them D tackles, Malik Collins, we ain't worried about. And I seen that one thing that they did was they ran a lot of seal blocks. They were sealing them, the opposite way of where they wanted to. And I'm talking about the interior guards on them D tackles. And there was some big old holes that they was able to run through. So, man, you should be able to get a lot of movement on that D line period, but especially them D tackles, y'all. We should be able to run that wheel, especially that inside zone. We should be able to run that to a T. And I always say what type of game it is. Is it a TP game? Is it a Zeke game? Do we need to see a little bit of something for both? This game, for sure, is an Ezekiel Elliott game, right? Especially the way that the running backs is running in the inside zone, especially if the Browns did. Ezekiel Elliott can mess around and get a $150 this game, and that'll be excellent for his confidence for my man to go ahead and get a $150 this game. So that'll be something to look at. Let me see. Also, I seen that on the little jet sweeps, they were handing the ball, and I'm talking about the Commanders. They were handing the ball to Curtis Samuel. They handed them to about almost a handful of times, at least from what I remember, and he scored. So two people that come in mind, maybe three people that come in mind that we can run that with. There's, of course, CeeDee Lamb, because CeeDee Lamb seems like he get a couple carries a game, which I am good with, because that keeps him off balance. And Turpin might be able to take one to the crib. I think it's about time to incorporate that man into the offense. And Tony Pollard can do it as well. We've seen Tony Pollard do it as well. So one thing, you can run them jet sweeps and you can outflank this defense, because I've seen it a numerous amount of times with the Washington Commanders. Man, I don't know. I'm going to always say the Redskins, man. So sometimes I might say the Redskins. Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. But one thing that I also seen that you can have success with is the crossing routes on this defense. The Washington Redskins was committing, and they were getting a lot of crossing routes when it came down to going against this team. So you should have some success with these crossing routes. But other than that, their linebackers, was it Christian Kirksey? I'm not too big on him. He's just an okay linebacker that should be more for special teams. To be honest with you, Christian Kirksey to me is not a starter. Christian Kirksey to me is the third linebacker at best, and he's proven that with him bouncing back, right? But he's okay. He ain't like he just a bum, but however, he's not that guy. Their linebackers is not all that. Like I said, the best thing that they got going for them is the cornerbacks situation, and then the next thing is old Jerry Hughes, right? Other than that, if Jerry Hughes ain't getting his pressure and he ain't beating his matchup, man, go ahead and run them games, man, and just over, man. You go ahead and get it going, man, and man, because Jerry Hughes is cool though, right? He cool, but what the hell you doing with the Houston Texans though, right? But I guess, hey, it's all about the Benjamins, right? So he may have went to sleep indigent, but he probably woke up with these Benjamins. But yeah, man. So, but yeah, man, that's just pretty much the rundown of that thing. Like, we should be able to go ahead and conquer this team when it comes down to establishing the run game, right? Dak Prescott, like I said, they're going to probably try to heat up Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott throwing on a run will be crucial this game, right? Him creating a little bit, because one thing I did see with not only Deshaun Watson and Taylor Heineke, they moved up a lot in the pocket. They was doing a whole bunch of throwing on the run, and some of it looked good, but then Deshaun Watson, you really couldn't tell, because Deshaun Watson was trying to go ahead and wash away about 2 years worth of rust. So then nobody really expect him to look like Superman, no. But so I couldn't really get an established scouting report on how they was going to be able to respond against the passing game, because what they got from that passing game was just straight rust from Deshaun Watson. But I was able to see some things, and the majority was it that their defense and special teams dominated the game. So one thing that we are good at is special teams. It's been quite a long time since I've seen my special teams take one to the crib. That might be that it. It might be that one right here. Defense, I know you scored last game though, but I forgot, right? So can you give me another one? Because one thing that the Browns did was go ahead. I believe they took 2 of them, right? I believe Man, I believe they took a fumble to the crib. They took the punt return to the crib. And I think they took something else to the crib. Was it a pick or was it another one? But either way, their defense did they Dougie, right? But yeah, man, to be honest with y'all, that's pretty much what's going down with this team. Like, there ain't really nothing spectacular going on with this team. Like, it's pretty much, it's dull. But that's one thing that you're gonna have to stop yourself and check yourself, right? You know this team ain't really that good. You know this team gonna try to lull you to sleep with that Damian Pierce, and that's what can catch you slipping, right? That's what can mess around, and allow you to have these boys in the game when really these boys shouldn't even be playing with you. Really, these boys should be sitting over there, you understand me, serving you pancakes, you know what I'm saying? Like you Dave Chappelle, trying to play Rick James. You want some pancakes? That's all it is, man. Anything else, man, it should be an honor for the Houston Texans to not only share the same field, right, but to be playing the Dallas Cowboys, right? Because one thing is damn near JV versus varsity. Like, the Houston Texans really don't have no talent whatsoever, and it'll be a disappointment even if you did win the game to allow this team to play with you all 4 quarters. We ain't the Philadelphia Eagles. We the Dallas Cowboys, man. What's going on, Teflon? We the Dallas Cowboys. So, it just wouldn't be wise. We really should just put this team away early. You should put them away early, man, and just chill, right? Be able to rest and get going just like that. Get ready for the next week. We should be sitting Dak Prescott. Honestly, we should be sitting Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott in the third quarter. We should be sitting them down. It should be the Cooper Rush and Malik Davis show. Anything else is unacceptable. That's what I see. There's nothing good about this team, to be honest with you. I love the running back. The running back can play some football. That's one thing for sure. And when Cooks is going, Cooks is a solid player, right? And I like Jerry Hughes and I like Stingley. That's not even the whole hand. I believe I named you what? Pierce, Cooks, Stingley, and Hughes. I didn't even name you one handful of players, and we got at least a handful of players on offense alone. We got at least a handful of players on defense alone. When it came out of tanking, good and well, that's what the Houston Texans are doing, because there's no way that you should go ahead and have a team this bad on the field competing every and then get mad that you benching your quarterback Davis Mills. What does Davis Mills have to throw it to? Chris Moore, Nico Collins, think it's Bellinger. Come on, man. His best weapon is Damian Pierce, right? So if y'all want to go ahead and believe in the trap game, this might be it right here, because they're going to lure you to sleep, right? And don't let them get that running game established. That's all I'm saying. Don't let them get that running game. Facts, Teflon, facts. I agree wholeheartedly. This game shouldn't be in, right? It shouldn't even be like the Colts game. From start to finish, it should be domination, because one thing for sure, good teams handle business, when it's supposed to handle business. Yeah, it's the NFL, right? You had your blunder. Your blunder was with the Green Bay Packers, right? You had a sloppy game with the New York Giants, right? So all having these blunders, like I said, we're supposed to be playing our best football right about now. It's December time. So them taking this team lightly is unacceptable. Put them away. End them early. End them early. And the cold thing about it, y'all, is they run play action without stopping the run. That's how you know without establishing a run. I mean, they run play action. They could mess around, and Damian Pierce could mess around and have 10. I think he did have a couple games too with like 8 yards and like 15 yards or something like that. I believe one was like against Washington, and one was what the game before this, right? See, they're gonna mess around, you see, and they're gonna mess around and still run play action. They can have 100, they can have 100 carries for 10 yards, and they still gonna mess around and run play action. That's how ineffective their offense is. What's going on, Terminator? What's going on? What's going on? But yeah, man, like, I mean, there ain't really too much to say. Anything else will probably really be repeating myself around this point. It really would. Like, there's not really much. Like, usually I'll probably be up on here breaking the team down for an hour. I was able to really get that done in about 25 minutes, right? And really probably shorter than that. I would, but other than that, man, shoot. But anywho, but I also wanted to talk about this because I mean the Texans, it just is what it is. It just is what it is, man, with the Texans. But look, with this Odell situation, I touched on it briefly, right? I don't understand the disappointment when it comes down to him not being ready, right? What you think about Washington, the brother gonna catch a pass? Are you talking about James Washington? Man, I thought he was gonna be catching passes all November. And at the end of October, man, I don't know the man talking about. I mean, the man probably Odell gonna mess around and come and be ready before James Washington. I don't know if he just milking. Is he still? I think he's still getting paid. I think I don't know what it is, but I'm like, damn, was your injury that bad? Like, gosh. I want to see him out there. We've been talking about this number 3 wide receiver, and it's got to be something. You brought in Callaway, and then you messed around and been trying to get Odell Beckham. So evidently, Jerry Jones and them know that the 3rd wide receiver is the problem. Yeah. My thing was with OBJ, I wanted him around that playoffs. And that's when he would be ready. And I understood that, even if his first game action was like the last week or playoffs, I understood that he wouldn't be 100%. But I'm like, a 80%, Odell Beckham is definitely better than anybody after Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. And that's where I was getting at. And I don't believe that the Dallas Cowboys should be discouraged when it comes down to Odell Beckham. I just believe that they should just be a little bit more patient, wait it out, because everything works out for its own, right? When it comes down to position battles, when it comes down to all right, we got a surplus there, what we gonna do? When it comes down to I think it might be a need. One thing's for sure, over the course of a season, everything seems to work out. Whether it was good or bad, you still got clarity on the situation of it working out. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, Terminator. I feel you. Yeah, I'm not about to play. I'm not about to, it's gonna have to be, uh play count incentives. It's gonna have to be performance based if you want a little bit more money, But I believe they get them playoff bonuses anyway. So wouldn't he want to sign before the season so he can get them playoff bonuses or something like that? Don't they get that playoff bonus? So I believe that he would at least want to sign week 16, week 17, even if he don't play, right? What's good to just get him in the building. Oh my gosh. If they hang around that thing, if they hang around, y'all, if the Texans hang around on Sunday, whether win or lose, y'all, I'm probably about to go ham that day. And it's an early morning game. You know about them early morning games. It's an early morning game toward the end of the season. Well, it's 12, Central, but it's an early game. Man, there ain't too like I said, there ain't too many ways. There's only one way on offense that the Texans can attack us, you know, legitly, and that's with Pierce, right? And one thing that they see, like I said, they're gonna run it at what's his goddamn Doris Armstrong. They're gonna run at Doris Armstrong. They're gonna test him, right? I would, and especially since Doris Armstrong is on the best side of the offensive line, which is the left side. One matchup that I'm looking forward to that I want to see is Parsons and anybody else versus Laramie Tunsil. I agree, Terminator. I look, I didn't like the Tolbert pick. I didn't see too much from him. You know, I tried to give it a chance, but man, every other pick, right? Whether it would be a high draft pick or a lower draft pick, getting some type of thing where we can figure it out. Why is it that we trying to find out about, you know, a third wide receiver when we drafted one, right? When we drafted Gallup, right? He got meaningful snaps, but he was put in a position to try to be the main guy early. That's why we got Coop. But in this case, it probably would have been the same thing early on. But the season almost over, y'all. There ain't no way. They beat Dallas week, MG. Hey, it's beat Dallas week. Hey, I could just hear MG right now. He going to the Texas content creators. He was like, "We got a chance, yo. Dallas soft. Damian Pierce is gonna run for 200 yards, and we're gonna beat Dallas 17-3." I can see it now. MG like, yeah, guys, we got Dallas. Davis Mills, he's the second coming of Joe Montana, guys. He's gonna go throw for 300 yards on Kelvin Joseph, guys. Man. Oh my God. He said, "Can Tolbert read? He all messed up with the playbook." Damn. Is that what's been his problem? The playbook? Damn. What is it like week? What is it like week 13? Something like that? He's still out here? What? Damn, man. I didn't know it was about the playbook. Wow. That's saddening. That's saddening. That's sad, y'all. That is sad. Like, you didn't have rookie OTAs, the rookie mini camp, training camp, mini camp, the whole season pretty much, and you still can't get the playbook? Wow. Wow. That's ridiculous, Terminator. That's ridiculous. That's truly ridiculous. So if we got a man that's trying to play ball and he's slow, how the hell he gonna play wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys? With Kellen Moore. You know? Mm-mm. Nah. I mean, damn, how long do you need? When is the draft? Like March or April? April, May, June, July, August, September, October. No, bruh. Like 8-9 months? Are you serious? Wow. The playbook. That's sad. That really is. So he was one of them dudes that when study period came around, study hall came around, they just let him go because he was supposed to do big time things, and he was supposed to be an NFL draft talent, so they just let him do that, and they just probably threw him the ball up. They probably just gave him about 2-3 routes. The quarterback probably in the huddle told him, "Hey man, we're gonna run this fade. Hey man, we're gonna run this slant route. Hey man, go ahead and run this route, man." That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, as I stated earlier in the year, I said that the man was Terrence Williams at best to me. And I'm like, if we could have got Terrence Williams out of it, then then it's cool. That's third receiver in this offense worthy. If I can at least get Terrence Williams, and quite frankly, I would love to get Terrence Williams production out of my third receiver. But we always got to play. Damn. Receiver by committee, whether it be hopefully Noah Brown to step up one game, hopefully Dalton Schultz step up one game, right? It's like, who is going to be that third pass catcher that's going to help this offense out, right? And it'd be cool if we had it a lot more step up to really just be defined, to really be profound and defined, and like, all right, this is the third receiver no matter what, right? He may get a game where it'd be 2 catches though, but them 2 catches kept the chains moving, right? Something like that. I'm not expecting no Justin Jefferson as my third wide receiver, but I'm expecting somebody that when their name is called, they can go ahead and produce a play, a meaningful play, right? And one thing that on this offense at the third wide receiver, I don't have no trust that any one of them could make a meaningful play in crunch time. I don't trust it. Yeah, with Kelvin Joseph, a lot of the times, right, he be in position, but he don't make the play. Right? Yeah, and you right, technique. What was it? Was it the Minnesota game? I believe it was the Minnesota game where he kind of shaded wrong and he gave up a chunk play, right? And see, like the last game when he gave up the TD, he was in position. So I really wasn't mad at him, right? But one thing that has been a common theme since preseason, he'll be right there, but don't make the play. When is going to come a time where you're going to start getting the hands on the football, whether it be a deflection or a pick, right? When I'm going to see Kentucky Kelvin Joseph, the one that was on, what was it, Devontae Smith that locked him up, I'm rating on that. You right, Teflon. You right. I don't even understand it. I don't understand why he don't at least get 10 plays. You don't have to give him the ball, but just the foundation of the threat. Just the threat that Turpin will provide. Like, all right, I don't know if this man is going to get on a jet streak, a little end around, a wide receiver screen, or he going to take the top off the defense. I don't know which one, but I got to be prepared. And just that fear alone will probably even help Gallup and CeeDee Lamb in the running game that much more. So I'm confused. I was thinking when he first came on the scene, I wonder if we can make him into a tight end. I think he'd be an excellent tight end. Him, Ferguson, one of them inline little Zach Ertz type, little Pitts type, because he got the speed to take it to the. I wonder if he'd be a tight end. I think I think you can put a little bit more pounds on him. I don't think it'll mess around and affect him. I think I would like it because I thought that they should have did that maybe to the what's his name, the Texas Tech wide receiver, the big one. I think he got 6'5". I think what's his name, man? Damn, I can't think of his name right now. But damn, I can't remember his name, man. But see one thing with tight ends, right? They're you don't have to mess around and draft them high no more. Unless they already like a Kelsey or Andrews or something, you can make one, right? We know Kelvin Benjamin, right? We know that he ate too many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. The man was what, 6'5", like 250. The man was big as hell. So we knew, right, that his best position probably would have been tight end. He wasn't gonna get no separation. He should actually thank Cam Newton for even having somewhat of a coming out party in the NFL. You know? But yeah, good at blocking. I would try it. Because ain't he about 220 now? Ain't he like 220 now? So throwing a good, because he's still gonna grow as a man. He's still gonna put that muscle mass on. So if I can get what, 235 out of him at minimum, I'll take it. Or even a 230. He might already be how big. Let me see how big Simi is. Cause I think let me see how big he is. Yep. 6'4", 220. It ain't nothing to put on 10, 15 pounds on him. It ain't nothing to put 10, 15. And he tonguing too? Or am I tripping? And he tonguing. So if he tonguing, he come with muscle mass. Yeah, I think with that Teflon, I just think that they've been doing an excellent job of hiding him. Not allowing teams to isolate him. Because one thing that I had my eye out on that didn't go too bad was him going against them D tackles for the Colts. Had my eye out on that. You know, One thing we'll see Malik Collins will probably be on him, and Malik Collins will get upfield. That so we're not really worried about Malik Collins' power. So McGovern should do an okay job as long as he get off the football. Right. But just one of them times. I mean, it could but you're right, it could be worse. It could be Connor Williams at left guard. I always thought Connor Williams would have been a better tackle anyway, but it looking like he's doing pretty good at center right now. I thought that they should have tried him at right tackle. I thought he would have been pretty decent there, right? Because one thing, as far as left guards and him manning that left guard, you got to be a real boy in there. And one thing that he is not is a real boy at guard, right? So you taking on them big old boys, you taking on them real guys, man. You taking on the Falcons D tackle, Simmons, Chris Jones. Just not about to happen like that, right? And I think that he would have had enough athleticism at that right tackle to be a pretty decent one. To calm down, huh? Oh man. Oh, don't get me started on Be Honest, man. That's my guy right there. Yeah, that's my guy right there. I'm all hey. I'll be so proud. I'll be having a smile on my face, man. Hey, cause hey, on that Twitter, oh, I was getting attacked for Tyler. Oh man, he's weak. We need to get no. He need to hit that weight room. This allowed to get more time. He gonna be that guy. You know, because I see, like I said, we get spoiled. We got spoiled with Travis Frederick. We got spoiled with Andre Garrard. So we spoiled off a center play. So if he don't come in right away and become like a Travis Frederick type, then it's like, oh, he's weak, right? Not knowing sometimes, a player got to develop, right? That's why that's why I don't want to give up on Kelvin Joseph yet. But one thing, the rest of this season, is going to be crucial. It's going to be essential for Kelvin Joseph, as far as his not only to see how we are going to fare with him on the field, but his future, right? Because if Kelvin Joseph, let's say he just stinks it up for the rest of the season, it might not look too good for Kelvin Joseph being a Cowboy next year, right? But if he shows at minimum some promise, if he makes some plays, Kelvin Joseph will get one more chance. And if he stinks it up in training camp, he's gone, right? Nashawn Wright, I like Nashawn Wright, but he just need to keep hitting that weight room. He need to go ahead, man, and eat what I'm about to eat in a little bit with some spaghetti, right? He need to go ahead and eat that pasta. He need to go eat them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and bump them weights. He need to be going 10 times 10 trying to get on big because one thing for sure, that lanky man. But he's being see. I'm gonna just be real. Your corners is not bad, right? As far as talent wise, they got it. It's just piecing it all together. Here, you see, at first with Kelvin Joseph, I thought that what he experienced early on in the all season, that played a part in his mental. So, and like I said, he probably had outside pressure regarding that case. I thought he might have damn near was going to get a suspension. But we got off. I guess they like, man, he ain't about to beat nothing with the Cowboys, so we're going to let him slide. But you let Kelvin Joseph have been Trayvon Diggs, he would have got a suspension. But Nashawn Wright, looking at him, Nashawn Wright can play. He just got to get bigger, right? And that's exactly why he ain't been on the field now. It's because of his size. But it's your time to shine. Like you, Kelly Price. It's time to get up in there and do damage. One more chance. Jerry, give me one more chance. Yeah, man, we got big corners. Kelvin Joseph got size. Nashawn Wright, big as hell. Trayvon Diggs, excellent ball skills. Bland, excellent ball skills and physical. Like, we got corners that are different. Like, every one of your corners can do something good. And if we can get all your corners to be on one accord, that'll be something good for us. That'll really be something good for us. And then the Mackenzie Alexander, I'm gonna try to look and see if I maybe can do a film session on him. But Mackenzie Alexander, not that bad. I remember actually scouting him not too long ago. I wasn't too big on him, right? That everybody else was. He didn't reach me, but he wasn't a bad corner though, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was the guy that didn't get no picks one year. Or was it one pick one year? I think it was when he was at Clemson. I don't think he got out. I don't know what it was. I think he didn't get no picks one year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was his last year or maybe the year before his last year. He didn't get no picks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because I remember looking at him. Yeah, but I'm glad that they was able to pull that trigger though on What's his name, man? Mackenzie Alexander, because that just give us some assurance. And what's his name? The Minnesota coach that we got, was it George or damn, I can't think of his name, man. I'm butchering names today. But the one we got from Minnesota, that's with the, that's with the was it the backers or whatever? Damn, I think it's George something, I think. But yeah, he's familiar with him, so he'll be able to go ahead and make a smooth transition. And that's also if, Kelvin Joseph or Nashawn Wright acting up, but it's mainly probably for Kelvin Joseph. If Kelvin Joseph get to acting up, they're going to go ahead, man, and go ahead and put Mackenzie Alexander up in there, man. Oh, man. Hey, and the cool thing about it is Damon Clark, right? This game gonna be big for him, right? To see the growth in his run fits, right? Because he gonna have to come up and hit. Your linebackers, though, right? Even though we should be stopping the run, even though we should stack that box, your linebackers gonna have to come up and hit that boy. They're gonna have to come up and hit that boy. Because if they coming out here patty caking, out here doing a hopscotch, out here double dutching, man, somebody gonna get embarrassed and they gonna get ran on. Yeah, George Edwards. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's gonna be crucial. With stopping Hurts, Clark, you're gonna see a big difference there. Watch. You're gonna see a big difference. And let's be real, y'all. It's time to go ahead and quit with the Anthony Barr start now. Clark has established enough to know that man should be the solidified starter. So let's just be real and come on, Dan Quinns. Quit with the veteran gangs. Quit with the BS. We know Clark is that guy. It's time to see. But one thing that I want to see, what's going on with the other LSU linebacker? What's going on with him? That's probably one of the most disappointments of the season for me right there. That might be the biggest disappointment. The other LSU linebacker. I thought that he would have at least had a Devondre Campbell role, maybe like a third down role of being able to help us in coverage. I didn't expect him to have 100% role, but I expect him to be able to come in, to be able to cover on them nickel situations, right? Run and hit, but I'm a little disappointed in him. I'm a little bit disappointed in that. Oh, man. They Bill. Marquise he will be taking over for Jaron Curse soon. Yeah, he gonna play that Jaron Curse role for us. That's Marquise. Yeah, Marquise gonna be everywhere in the slot. He play. I think he played a little bit. I wouldn't do it. Give him a whole dose of it, a whole buffet of it. But I'll go ahead and give him a little bit. I think he can get you a few snaps up in there. I definitely would love him seeing about him locking up them tight ends, though. Because that's what's going to be his role when it's time for Curse to go up, sticking on them tight ends. I'm also interested to see Israel, come up in the fold, because that's one thing that we're going to have to do is see a lot more from our safeties. Since the corners is gone, we're missing 2 of the top 3 corners. We're going to have to see probably a lot more coverage-wise from your safeties. So they're going to have to be ready for that. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so, because that's what he was jumping in when he had to play. What was it, early on in the year? He was up in that Curse role. I think that's Curse right there. Because I believe we signed Curse, what? 2-3 years? 2-3 years? So after this, and probably and Curse next year, it's probably be Curse next year, probably be Curse last year, and they're gonna go ahead and go in another direction. As much as we like Curse, I don't see Curse being here long term. I don't think he's that type of guy to be here long term. You know, Curse will probably, if Curse try to have another good year, I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to seek the bag somewhere else, right? Because we're gonna have to go a lot of young guys though. Because this is the reason why I say that, right? Because look, you're gonna have to pay Diggs, right? You're going to have to pay Micah Parsons, and I'm pretty sure you're going to have to pay Micah Parsons around the time you play Diggs, because pretty sure they're going to be like, man, we is not about to be playing on this rookie contract, right? It's been good these next 2 years, though, but pay me like I am. Extend me like I am. And I believe the extension might come at a cheaper cost. Oh, no, hell no. We dealing with Micah Parsons, man. I don't know what he want to get paid as. I don't know if it's going to be a DN or what. So hopefully they don't start. Hopefully they don't start trying to mess with his snaps to try to not pay him as a DN or something. How Dallas be getting all fugazi when it come down to signing a guy sometime, man. But one thing I know for sure, he not gonna play that though. Michael Parsons ain't gonna play that. Michael Parsons like either you gonna pay me, or you playing me, or we up out of here, right? And one thing that the Dallas Cowboys better not ever do is go ahead and play with Michael Parsons. They better not play. They better not play with him, right? So, like I said, you got to pay Diggs. You got to pay Micah pretty soon. I would want Hankins back. I don't know his contract situation. I would love for Hankins to come back on at least another 1-year deal or whatever the case may be. You got to, I believe Sam Williams will be taking over for DeMarcus Lawrence when it's his time to go. So you got to pay them too, right? You got to pay CD pretty soon. You're paying Gallup. You might be paying Odell. You're paying Dak. You got to bring Osa back, so you got to give Osa a contract because it'll be a shame not to bring Osa back, because Osa, like I said, I don't care that I don't get pass rush, and I never expected pass rush from Osa. But what Osa is giving us in that interior, as you can see from that film that I dropped, Osa playing good ball. Osa fighting in there. It's a wonderful sight to see when you got your D tackles fighting in there. They really in there fighting for their life in there. Sometimes they be out there making a play and it was on accident because they out there fighting for their life. Gotta love that, man. Right? You're probably gonna have to pay a linebacker. Nah, well, unless the Oklahoma State is your guy. Unless he's your guy, you might got to play. Well, you got to pay another linebacker regardless, though, because I don't know what's going on with Cox, but you probably have to pay another linebacker regardless. You probably gonna have to spend some resources on another running back soon. I don't know what they're gonna do with Tony Pollard, right? Zeke, there's question marks. I love Zeke. If Zeke still got it, I still love the Zeke to come back. But I don't know how they feel, because I remember the rumors talking about regardless of what he do, he won't be a Dallas Cowboy next year. And I'm not too sure on how true that is, but whoever came out with that, they tripping, right? Because I've been an advocate that we need Zeke, and it shows that we need Zeke. When we didn't have Zeke in them couple of games, it just shows that the physicality of this run game is missing. And one thing that I really wanted them to see, I really wanted them to get another running back that provided some of the same things as Zeke. But I also seen that they brought in the Texas running back for a visit. I like him. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. Wilson and Steele. Oh, yep. You gotta pay Steele. Yep. You're right about that. You gotta bring Steele back. You gotta bring him back because you let Collins go. So you gotta bring Steele back. Steele is your project. So yeah, that's right. You gotta pay Steele. Yep, you got Wilson. Yeah, it's time to go from LVE. Facts. Yeah, that Say for instance they did get rid of Zeke, and they brought that Texas running back in with Pollard. Ooh, I'm digging that. I'm digging that. Facts. Facts. And if he don't make the Pro Bowl, I'm giving the NFL a call. So yeah, we got a lot of guys to pay. So that's why they probably drafting the linebackers. They probably gonna go young with the linebackers. Israel, I don't know. I think what is Hooker on that 1 year deal? Hooker might be on that. So that might go to Israel, Mukwamo, and then Marquise Bell. He's stepping in for Curse. Hopefully, and like I said, CD got to get that bag soon. What is it? What is this? A third year for CD? Yeah, CD want to get paid soon. Yeah, CD got to get paid. Yeah, we got some bags to go. You know, unfortunately, this might be Tyron Smith last year, so we're gonna go ahead and appreciate, the service and appreciate when he does come back, because it's probably gonna be the last time we see Tyron Smith in the Cowboys uniform. So let's go ahead and send him out right, because one thing Tyron Smith deserves, man, is a ring. I hate to not see 88 go out there with the ring. Even though Jason Witten was on some fugazi stuff inside that locker room, I hate to see him not get a ring. I hate to see number 9 not get a ring. I hate to see number 94 not get a ring with us. And I'm not talking about Randy Gregory. I'm talking about DeMarcus Ware, right? I was happy for DeMarcus Ware, but then I was sick. Like, that should have been us. And I know for sure that ring would have hit a little bit different if it was with us, right? But you want to go ahead and waste years and go get old Charlie Pepper, old Gerald Sensabaugh, weak ass. You want to go ahead and get them thinking that it's going to be something going on with that, man. Messed around and you're going to have to substitute with Mackenzie Bernardo Bernardo. I'm like, man, what's going on with all this? I'm like, man, you gotta go ahead and bring some real boys. See, that's the problem. That's why Romo had the back and everything to what it is, because you want to go ahead and bring Mackenzie Bernardo up in there, and you want to go ahead and hold on to Leonard Davis for eternity. I'm like, Leonard Davis, man, he could barely get up off the bed, let alone be able to move to go block. And that's why Tony Romo got beat up in the pocket. Oh, Hooker on the 2 year is a team option? But I love Hooker, though. I wouldn't be surprised, though, as you said, Terminator, if Tony Pollard don't get paid and they go ahead and just give the Rams to Malik Davis. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, let's be real. I mean, because a lot of that is going to factor in with Kellen Moore. Is Kellen Moore here next year? Is Mike McCarthy here next year? So them is questions. Me, quite frankly, if Mike McCarthy can give us a deep playoff run, I want him back, right? Especially with the Dan Quinn. And I want to see Mike McCarthy actually get an offensive play caller that he wants. I want to see that. Hey, what was it? I was looking at. Damn, there was another one that I was missing. But I was looking at the comparisons. I'm missing one end. I can't think of his name. But it was Gregory and somebody else that they was compared, right? And the production. See, I think what Dan Quinn probably told him, like, hey, we don't need Gregory. With Michael Parsons and Law, Fowler and them gonna eat just off the rip of the attention that they demand. So they're gonna eat. They're gonna get one-on-one matchups, and they're gonna beat, they're gonna go to NASCAR packages and they're gonna beat the guard off the rip. I'm loving Sam Williams, because I think Sam Williams is gonna be heavy when it comes down to the playoffs. That's what I honestly think. He's gonna be heavy. We're gonna need that. Fresh, somebody fresh. And I just hope, man, that See, this is good work though. Even though the Texans weak as hell, this is good work. Not only to go against a running back of the caliber of Damian Pierce, but just the physical nature that they're gonna try to run on you with, to be able to go downhill and the best to be able to stop that. Also, Derrick Henry coming up is gonna be good work. That's gonna be good work. I'm excited for that one too. You know, see what's going on with Philly. That ain't common. That's uncommon than what you see when Jalen Hurts getting 15, 16 carries a game. Lamar Jackson. Even though he came off the rim, like they ain't running that like that. Even Josh Allen, even though some of the things that he run, he ain't doing it like that. He ain't getting damn near 20 carries a game. Like that's ridiculous. You trying to run him into the ground. But you know what I'm saying? Davis saying, "Oh yeah, we got 6 weeks for him. And she just lose and can't." Yes. Hey, look. If we have a performance like we did last year in the playoffs, everybody gotta go. I want to see everybody go. Because there ain't no goddamn way that we should lose like that again. We done came in ready to go. We physical now. See, one thing. See, this is what I also hope. I hope that we didn't establish this formula. But as soon as we get to the playoffs, as soon as we go fight through a little adversity, they want to go back to the past happy ways. That's one thing that I don't want to have. That's one thing that I don't want to have. How we playing? That would be so disappointing. Hey, it would take if we got one and done again, it'd probably take everything in me, man, to come up on here live, man, to come talk to you. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably take everything in me to come up here and talk live to explain what the heck just happened. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this just thing happened again. And the cool thing about it is, man, one of the homies messed around and sent me something talking about the Dallas thing. Oh, this is our year. Oh, one and then like a revolving circle, right? Man, let me tell you something, man. It's cool, but that thing better not be no revolving circle. Because, like I said, I'm expecting deep playoff run right now. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but deep playoff, that's NFC championship is the minimum that I'm accepting. Now I want to win it all. I don't go up in here because because we can go to the championship, right? I want to win it all, but that's the minimum, though. And I believe Mike McCarthy performing well in the NFC championship, win or loss, that'll probably bring him back his job. Anything short of the NFC championship, Mike McCarthy will not be back. Pretty sure of that. Man, hey, I'm with you on that, man. I'm definitely with you on that. I'm getting too cute. We a rough and tough team. We so rough and so tough. You know, like, all of a sudden, man, they still don't want to give us no love. They still don't want, they still want to hate on us. And I'm talking about the media. I'm talking about everybody on the outside. You see, within this, right? We been knew what this team was about. It took them a few games for them to believe, but we already believe because we do the homework over here. We see, we seen some of the things, right? See, but one thing, like I said, the championship team does is that they go through adversity and they overcome it. And we done been through so much, not only on his offense, but even his defense. And still it all, like Maya Angelou, and still I rise. And we done rose to the occasion to be in a position. Because what do we give? I believe before the season started, we gave this team like what, 10 or 11 wins? Something around there. We thought that we was going to struggle a little bit early and then kind of pick it up late. So I did say like 10 or 11 wins. And it looked like we're going to surpass that, right? It looking like at least 13, right? Yeah, about 13. Yeah, 12, 13. So that's good. People talking about, oh, we're competing with Philly for the number one. I'm not competing with Philly. I'm taking it one game at a time. If Philly go ahead and win the division, we been winning the division. That ain't what we want. We missing one of these, man. We missing that ring. We missing something on that ring finger, right? That's what we missing. I don't give a damn about no division. As long as I get in the playoffs, I don't give a damn about no division crown. But if I got to win the division and get to the playoffs, then okay. But I don't give a damn about the division. I want to get in. I want to do damage. That's what I want to do. I want to do damage. You know? Go ahead and because this is what Philly gonna do, right? And say for instance they win a division, they're gonna celebrate the division crown, right? And get smoked. But all off season, this is what they're gonna say. Oh yeah, we was one and done, but we won a division. But hold up though. But when we win a division and we go one and done, it ain't cool because we went one and done. But all of a sudden, you got moral victories. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen. Y'all gonna accept these moral victories. One thing for sure, I don't accept second place, and I don't accept no moral victories, because second place just means I was the first best loser in the situation, right? I was the runner-up. They gonna give me a red ribbon. I want the gold medal. I want the blue ribbon. I don't want no silver medal. I don't want no bronze medal. I want to win it all. I'm balling to win it all. When you come in the all season, you talking about, man, taking it one game, one practice at a time to get to your ultimate goal. Everybody playing to go ahead and hold up that Lombardi trophy. So going ahead and having these moral victories, I ain't with it, I ain't with it. It's either you a winner or you a loser, right? And one thing's for sure, right now, at this point in time, the Dallas Cowboys is playing like some winners. So that's what I want. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's correct, Lo. I'm with you on that. Hey, Terminator, I damn near want Killing gone if we win. I want him gone if we win. I'm just like, you know what I mean? It took you this long. It took Mike McCarthy to go ahead and get on your line just for you to go ahead and run the football consistently. When all season we done preached for us to establish physicality, and then you come out in a Tampa game and throw the ball, ridiculous. So it took for Dak Prescott for you to realize that we needed to run the ball. So what if Dak Prescott didn't hurt? Will we be in this position the way that we in right now? We probably would be throwing the ball a hell of a lot more. I think. So, I don't be I love it because Kellen Moore, the past little 3 weeks to a month, he's been calling a decent game. So I'm not no hater. I recognize good things when good things happen, regardless if I like you or not. If you did some good things, I'm going to recognize it. And one thing's for sure, Kellen Moore has been calling some pretty decent games, right? So I'll give a shout out to Kellen Moore when it's due. However, man, that's cool because we've been dominating in the season. It's time to dominate in the postseason, the second season when it counts. That's what we play for, to go here. That's where Dak Prescott is going to make his name at. That's where he's going to get the respect. That's where CeeDee Lamb is going to really establish and make his name at. That's where he's going to get his respect. That's where Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs is going to make their name at. That's where the respect going to come. Yeah, Micah Parsons, we know that you a hell of a ball player, though, right? But when it's tied up 20-20 and they driving, right? Do you go ahead and get that stop to go ahead and give it to your offense so we can go ahead and get for the game-winning score, right? Do you make that Aaron Donald play in a Super Bowl, man? Because one thing for sure, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And we understand that Micah Parsons is a big-time player. Now, you done got your feet wet in the playoffs. You know what it is. You know what to expect. Now it's time to perform, right? The moment shouldn't be big for nobody because the majority of your roster was only either on that team or just got playoff experience in general, right? Pretty much everybody on the defense has playoff experience. Pretty much everybody on the offense have playoff experience, right? Other than Tyler Smith or whatever, right? So we know what it takes to get it done. It's time to get it done. Point period blank. It's time to get it done. Hey, Terminator. I ain't even gonna lie. I was gonna look at that spread. I was gonna take the Giants. I think the Giants can beat them. To be honest with you, I think the Giants can beat them. That rough and tugget thing that they play, right? I think they can beat them. I think they can catch them off guard. Oh, hold on. Was I tripping? Oh yeah. I believe so. The hell? Will Anderson. Will Anderson wins Defensive Player of the Year. Philly gonna come. Yeah, man. If we get Washington at home for NFC Championship, because Philly is too. Yeah, to be honest with you, I think Washington is playing good ball right now because I did believe that the Giants. See, we in Washington was going to trend up, Philly and the Giants was going to trend down. Because, like I said, I'm very surprised that the Giants is even in this position that they are in right now, because the Giants, they really ain't got no talent. That's I'm like, that's some good coaching right there though. But as far as making a name, the Giants are nobodies. They're weak, But hey, it's a hell of a season for them. Maybe if they go ahead and establish and get some more talent, maybe they can go ahead and maybe do something next year, right? Washington mess around and go get some cornerbacks and a quarterback. Maybe they can do something, right? Ain't worried about Philly, man. Ain't worried about Philly. Philly on one of them seasons where it's just one of them once in a lifetime, right? Kind of on that Erica Badu thing. I'm gonna see you next lifetime type of hype, right? It's kind of like when they won that Super Bowl, man. They'll go ahead and give you one good year after maybe every 10 years or something like that, right? Probably the next time. So, for instance, y'all got like a little kid, right? Probably the next time Philly go ahead and go ahead and play ball like this, they'll probably be an adult with a family. You know what I'm saying? But you'll probably be a grandpa by then. Yeah, the division, our division don't play. It don't matter what your record is. Hey, they'll catch you slipping. They'll catch you slipping. You can go against an undefeated 15-0 Philly team, and that Giants team will be about 4 games in. They'll catch you slipping. This our division when we play against each other. Oh yeah, we come to play. It's a good ball game. So you can't never ever look at records when it comes to this division, right? It ain't like the San Francisco and the Rams thing where the San Francisco just straight up just be dominating the Rams. It ain't like that. Everybody got a shot. You know what I mean? But when it come down to Philly, when it come down to Dak Prescott against Philly, when it come down to Dak Prescott against the Giants, it is what it is, though. Yeah, yeah. Giants got a good coach, man. I gotta take my hat off, man, to that Giants coach. Good coaching, man. To have that team, man, with Daniel Jones with no weapons, just Saquon, and to have that defense. Okay, the defense ain't all that. They got young pass rushers. They ain't all that though. You know, so I got to give credit where credit is due. You know, they and I've been seeing that they act like Dallas schedule is cupcakeish. Like we ain't playing nobody. You know, but just early on in the season, though, right? See, they talking about Tampa, right? We seen Tampa at their best. Tampa wasn't gonna come out harder than what they did against us. We seen Joe Burrow and them. We beat the Rams. We beat the Vikings. They was out here talking about they scared for us against the Vikings, but we demolished them. But all of a sudden, we ain't play nobody. All right, I guess. I guess. Detroit against Minnesota. Let me see. What you gonna do with my loving? Mmm. You know what though? You know what, Lo? You wouldn't be crazy if you chose Detroit. You wouldn't be crazy if you chose Detroit. Let me see. Yeah, you wouldn't be crazy. Cause hey, I believe we really did some damage to Minnesota that they ain't recover from. Hey, but I got to give a shout out to Geno Smith. That's one thing I'm surprised about. Out of all the teams, Geno Smith is balling, and that just tell you how good of a coach Pete Carroll is. You doing that thing with Geno Smith? You making Russell Wilson look bad right now. you know, Eagles and the Giants. Okay, it's in New York. I might take that at minimum. I might take that Giant spread though. Maddox on injury reserve. Dallas Goddard, no doubt. And you know they best weapon is out. Dallas Goddard. That's his number one weapon. That's his comfortable weapon. Yeah, AJ Brown will look good when he go against some bum ass corners, right? But one thing's for sure. No, they think Tom Brady losing to the Niners. I got Tom Brady on that one. I got Tom Brady. They tripping. Cause you know they're gonna want Tom Brady to get up in them playoffs. Yeah, I got time. They got San Francisco 3.5. I need to get back to making my picks. But Ravens and Steelers. Ooh. Man, can the Steelers win out and keep the win streak alive for Mike Tomlin in his winning seasons? Jets and the Bills. Yeah. Well, you got the Rams and the Raiders tonight. I went on ahead, man, because I got one of my teams in fantasy, man. They so injury riddled, man. I'm gonna go ahead, man, and just take me a risk, man, on Cam Akers, man. Hold up. I know Ken Walker ain't playing. Ken Walker out, ain't he? Yeah, Ken Walker about to be out. Yeah, what they talking about? Fantasy they be trying to get you, don't they? Damn, I damn near don't even want to start Cam Akers though. Looking at what the Raiders be, because you know they're gonna have to run the football today. Send him a little Christmas gift. Damn, but they gave that man 17 carries though, and 18 touches in total. Damn. I don't know, man. You know what? It's Thursday night though. They're gonna have to run the football though. The Raiders is not too good. I'm gonna just go ahead and take my chance with that. I'm gonna go ahead and take my chance with that. I ain't trusting no Jared Judy. I be having Jared Judy on my bench, man. I only probably played him like twice this season. But yeah, man. I'm gonna take my chance with Cam Akers tonight, man. See if I got him at my flex. I'm gonna see if I can get a little. Maybe if I can get a score, I'm cool. All I need is a score out of that flex. In his PPR, give me a little something, man. Just give me a little something. Cam, bless me a little bit. Bless me a little bit. I'm making a run. I started off kind of shaky early on. I kind of started off shaky early on. I'm dealing with so many injuries, man. I got one team. I had Jamar Chase, Judy, Javonte Williams, Najee Harris, Dak, Kyler Murray. Bro, I've been going through it. I've been going through it. You know, had the Bears tight end, but dropped them. Was able to get Dalton Schultz, but he started balling. You know, I've been going through it. But one thing that that's been helping me a lot was drafting Tony Pollard the way I did. I knew that was gonna happen. Tony, I was able to pick up Ken Walker. Yeah, I've been going through it. On that one league, I've been going through it, man. I've been going through it with the injuries, man. I'm like, damn. It was just one of them seasons. And I ain't never had a season like this before with all these injuries, man. I've been trying to fight through so much adversity like the Dallas Cowboys, man. It ain't even funny. But shit. Yeah, man. About to get up out of here, man. Give me something to eat, y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Y'all hit that like button on the way out for me, please. And thank you, man. Y'all have a good one, man. And we'll be back soon. All right, y'all. We out.